welcome back, Pokémon GO players, to another episode of the Purified Podcast. Today is October 4th, 2020. I am your host, Luis Palacios, with my co-host, Chris.
Hey guys, it's me, Chris. Pokemon Trigger, please.
How's it going, my good man?
I'm excited, man. Oh, dude, I'm super hyped. Dude, the news we got this week is some of the biggest news we've gotten all year. And that's a lot to say. You don't think so?
I wouldn't say it's the biggest news, but it has been an interesting week for sure. Mostly because of everything that has happened, including a lot of different things that we wanted, of course, as Pokemon Go players, and of course, regular players of the main series games. Actually, that's going to be pretty nice. We'll definitely be talking about it. Some interesting changes to the game that the world, unfortunately, is not very happy about. We'll definitely be discussing that because it is very important that our listeners and everything, understands what's going on. But of course, we are here once again to talk about Pokemon Go news, updates, and ranting about Pokemon Go because we love the game just as much as you do. Real quick, I want to say hi to the chat. Hello, Papercut, Ganta, and Sushi. How's it going, everybody? Thank you very much for joining us. If you have any questions, make sure you leave it in the chat because we'll definitely be discussing a lot of different things today for sure. So, before we start completely, Chris, because we got to remind everybody that we are part of the Professor Network. And please make sure you check us out at professornetwork.com/Purified Podcast. Definitely wonderful people to work with. And definitely interesting things happen when they talk to the people out there. So, but we will definitely be part of that. Do we still have the bonuses? Real weird. I put some of them. I put an instance on, and I know we still have that 1 hour, but it's spawning Pokemon's it's like 30 every 30 seconds again. I might be wrong.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know they turned it down. I don't know if they changed anything though. Let me just make sure they didn't send it a tweet.
No, we'll see, definitely. You can go ahead and check that out while we do. But let's go ahead and shift the gears and recap what has happened last week. Any shinies or Hondas there, my friend?
For sure, a few shinies. I never get Hondas. I never get Hondas. Shiny and 4-star. There we go.
4 stars.
Yeah, just some shinies.
What you got for me?
I have. Oh yeah. Okay. So I'm pretty sure. I might be crazy. But I think I might have said Shiny Zapdos last time. But I have a Shiny Zapdos, and I'm more excited about the second one. A Shiny Krogunk with the backwards hat.
Ooh, nice.
I'm really excited because I love the color scheme on Krogunk, and I believe it's my first one.
Oh, nice.
I might be crazy. Yeah, it's my first one. So if I get another one, I can evolve it, and I'm pretty hyped for that.
Well,
but
it has to be without the cap, though.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just excited that I got one, period, so people can trade me it and it won't cost a bazillion dust.
Definitely. Just like Chris has mentioned it real quick before everyone understands, what he's talking about is the crocodile that I'm showing on screen right now. We do have the Lone Champ correlation with Pokemon Go right now, so we do have a specific Pokemon that have custom, like Croconaut, Kirlia, Shinx, and Smooshum. And of course, everybody's going for their shiny hunting, and everybody's getting shinies all around. So luckily, Chris got one from Photoshop, right?
Yeah, I happened to be on the move, and I did the snapshot. Ooh. I was like, it's not a different color. Oh well. But I click on it, and it's a shiny. So I don't even on the map it wasn't shiny, which I thought was interesting because I believe during C-Dot, it was like that, where it would be a different color on the map. I'm curious if they'll change it in the future to be like that, because I know some people like that, but it doesn't really fit with Pokemon Go, because we have to click on it to figure out if it's a shiny for the shiny check, usually.
Yeah, they only do it a couple of times like that, but most of the customs right now, they cannot evolve, so... Just like people are asking in the chat, they can evolve. No, they cannot. Unfortunately, there's only a few others that they can evolve, like the Pikachus with the flower crown and all that stuff. Or
flower crowns.
But unfortunately, not for the hats. The hats, unfortunately, they have been actually said we're not gonna go ahead and get evolutions of those at the same time. Wouldn't be looking good depending on the Pokemon too. But definitely something that they will work on in the future. I'm sure that they're only doing it for promotional stuff and all that stuff, So.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's the shiny you got. No Huntos. I definitely got 2 shinies. I think I did talk about the shiny Shadow Lapras last time, if I remember correctly. If not, then I have it. I also have
I'm jealous.
My shiny Zapdos, shiny Zigzagoon. That's my second one, so I actually complete the family that way. So that's pretty nice. And then I finally got the shiny Moltres. So I finally got all 3 of the legendary birds shiny. Hallelujah!
Yeah, congrats, man.
Dude, it took me so long. So long. It's just one of those things that I'm glad that I managed to finally get off my bucket list when it comes to the shinies. So thank you, Niantic, for doing remote raids, because I don't think I would have been able to get it without them. So that's definitely the shinies and Huntos. We're gonna go ahead and recap the Mega Week, the whole Mega September month that we had. In all honesty, I do think that it was an okay event without the problems that everybody was facing about how the Megas were locked between the raids and everything, and there was no other way to get evolution or the candy for Mega Evolutions and all that stuff. So I do think that the event actually went well, even with the complications and the disheartening of the community because of it. There are definitely things that, it gives in a final thing. Like, they're definitely going to continue this trend because at the end of the day, they see major success of it. I do feel like they still need to get some changes going, which they have with the beginning of October. One of the field research that we actually have for October is one to be able to get Mega Vidro candy. So they're definitely going about it when it comes around, and they talk about it and all that stuff. So definitely something that they'll definitely work on in the future. Hopefully there will be more coming along, but we'll definitely see when that comes around. Chris, what about your thoughts on the Mega September weeks?
I mean, I've talked to a bunch of people on it. A lot of people hate the mega feature still. I know they're trying to balance it, and I get it, but it is really disheartening to see how much of it you have to pay for, per se.
Right.
Then again, I guess you can go out and do like one a day. But then you have to use your one raid and like miss out on Moltres and stuff like that, the legendary going on. You really gotta pick. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. When it comes down to it, Megas will definitely be coming along. We didn't actually get to the point, but they haven't announced anything about Mega Gengar, though. We know Mega Gengar is coming. And that should be the next few weeks worth of events coming up, which we'll definitely talk about when it comes down to it. But yeah, Megas are here. They're definitely here to stay. And they're definitely here to see what else we got through a few things coming around,
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that. And then real quick, we just remember everybody that Moltres is now back in race, just like you see the shiny is with us. And it's of course kind of into the air with Sky Attack. Like we knew, just like every other one of the legendary birds. I don't know why I'm going like, please stop me. I can't even stop it. Okay, that was fine. Definitely something that we want to shiny fun for. Everybody always likes shiny hunting legendaries all the time, so it is what it is, and everybody can do it remotely now, so that's even better. So we're definitely going to throw some rocks at it, because that's your best counters against it.
Double week, just like Articuno. It's fabulous.
I also would like Charizard. I almost forgot the name of the Pokemon. But yeah, just throw rocks at it. That's all you need to know about it. This is basically your only counter. If you have a Tyranitar with rocks. Just rocks. Just throw rocks, guys. Come on. It's not. You can even throw a pebble and it will still go down.
Yeah, it's one of the easiest duos in the game.
Yeah.
Kind of like Rayquaza, but honestly easier because I don't know, Rayquaza hits pretty hard.
I know somebody's trying to do a solo with the megas and everything, so hopefully that will work out.
Ooh,
It's interesting though.
that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll see how it goes. We already know that the next legendary rare boss after Moltres is going to be. I think it's Giratina, right?
I think there's one in between. I have to double check that.
I'm checking that right now too. No, Origin from Giratina comes back. So
it is.
Once Moltres leaves on Friday night the 9th, Giratina will come around Origin form with his shiny form. So that's going to be one that everybody's going to be hyped about for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're ready for that. Get your counters ready because we'll talk about it once it comes around next week for sure.
I'm hyped. I'm so hyped.
I want the shiny too though. I don't even have
send me raids, guys.
I don't even have Alter from Giratina, so.
Yeah, I don't have either. Well, obviously I don't have Origin shiny, but yeah, I don't even have Altered shiny either. And you have the perfect Altered, so you need the perfect for Origin.
Yes, please give me the Shando Niantic, I beg you. That's all I want. Alright, so definitely all the recaps that we have. There's a couple more things there and there, but we'll definitely discuss it because this last week was insane. And we gotta get into it because there's just a lot of hype and a lot of frown faces in the last few days, but we'll get to it. So let's get into our research topics. Chris, what is the very first thing we're gonna talk about today?
Well, if I click my heels together, you know that just like the title, there's no place like home. Pokemon Go is going to be going to home. Isn't that wild? I'm really hyped for it.
Man, it's been a long time coming. Since the announcement back in February about Pokemon, actually even before that, when Pokemon Home really was released throughout the DLC, before the DLC, and all the information that we had, they said, okay, we're going to be able to actually transfer Pokemon from Pokemon Go to Home without using Let's Go, because that is the only way to transfer some of the Pokemons from Go to Home in that regard. And it's only locked to Generation 1 and Melmetal, of course. So now we'll be able to finally get to Home with our game. It's finally been announced that it's coming this year, guys. So it hasn't disappeared. I definitely think that, the timing is right for the reason that it's closer to the DLC. So let's explain real quick what happened. Just a few days back, I think it was on Tuesday of last week, Pokemon Home, or the Pokemon Company, did a small direct presentation, whatever it's called, to the Crown Thunder DLC for Sword and Shield, which is the second DLC of the game. We don't know if it's going to be the last one, but we know that it's going to be an interesting one in that regard. It's going to bring legendaries, it's going to bring learning story, brand new Pokemons, all the shebang. So, at the same time, they did say that the long-awaited, not collaboration, but connection between Pokemon Go and Home is coming this year, by the end, or somewhere close to this year specifically.
Mm-hmm.
The plans are, of course, there. We don't know exactly the date yet, but we know it's coming because there's actually some good things that are going to happen once you actually get to transfer Pokemons from Go to Home. And this is what they are. So first and foremost, there will be limited time events happening in Pokemon Go when this goes live. Meaning that we'll definitely have things, maybe it's rare spawns, other things, and be able to transfer from Go to Home. Also, you'll finally be able to activate also the mystery box to get Melton and Melmetal. So usually the only way to get those was through Let's Go. If you transfer Pokemon, it's the same component in the end, but you had to have the game to be able to get the mystery box, and some people don't have that, especially the newer players, unfortunately. So it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice. So you'll be able to get that, and during the limited time, I think it's only to the limited time, you'll finally be able to also catch Shiny Melton. So Shiny Melton is, I know, Shiny Melton is coming back after like a year plus of being in the hiddens of it. hidden side.
Yeah, we were talking about it for like the past few podcasts, so I'm really excited to see it come back.
Oh yeah, I do need some extra candies, so I could probably start opening it up to get to some candies and hopefully get the hundo because I do want to get the hundo. But it's gonna be nice to be able to restock on it pretty easily from now on, and it's kind of nice in that regard, you know.
Oh yeah, I agree.
At the same time, once you're able to transfer Pokemon Go to home, in the home feature or in the home app, you'll get this special Pokemon, actually a special Melmetal that will be able to Gigantamax. So you'll finally be able to see Gigantamax Melmetal, the mythical Pokemon the only mythical Pokemon that can Dynamax actually, or Gigantamax in that regard.
Oh yeah, he is mythical. You're right.
Yeah.
I was thinking of the one in the game, the legendary though.
Oh, that's the legendary Eternatus, but that's a different one for sure.
Oh yeah.
Which we'll see how that one will work out when they do release it. But yeah, so you'll get that and your special move and all that stuff. It's gonna be fun because we knew about Gigantamax Melmetal since the data mining and all that stuff. So we knew it was happening. We just didn't know when. I kind of had this speculation that it was going to happen once we get the connection from Go to home, because it was the only way to really. It's the only way to really get Melton in the game, into the main series game. So I knew that was going to happen eventually. I just didn't know when it was. You know. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of nice when my predictions kind of worked out in that regard. So.
Yeah, I feel like they took longer than a lot of us expected on it. I mean, there's a lot of unexpected stuff that has happened in the past few months. But yeah, I'm really excited to see it finally come in. I think Gigantamax Melmetal looks kind of gross, but it's definitely going to be OP.
Well, Gigantamax Melmetal has an interesting dex entry because it's not in any of the generation dex entries, just like a standalone, but they count it as like an 808 something Pokemon or something like that. So in Let's Go, it's weird. They counted it like the 152 and 153 Pokemon in dex. So it was kind of interesting. It was kind of interesting when it was actually released. I mean, Melton has been around for a while since its actual release, and I love that with the correlation with the Pokemon Company, this was a way to introduce a brand new Pokemon that nobody has seen, and the only way to get it is through Go, so it's actually an amazing feature. We still don't know if to evolve a Melton to Melmetal can only happen in Pokemon Go. We know it happens in Pokemon Go, but unfortunately we don't know if it can happen in the main series game, so that's another thing that, you know, they'll clarify. Mm-hmm. Now, there is, however, a little speculation and a little confirmation when the announcement happened. There was a Japanese article that John Merrick, the creator of Cerebi, happened to topple upon when the announcement went live. It said, and it was in Japanese, so the translation was a little rough in the regard, but it said that a person was asking how much would it be to actually transfer Pokemons from Go to home? And then the site said, please check back once the feature is available. Now, there was a little speculation, and Twitter kind of went wild in that regard, saying, oh, this is going to monetize Pokemons. You know, you're going to only be able to transfer Pokemons using Pokecoins, because that was what the site was saying. You need to use Pokecoins to be able to transfer. And we were like, you know, everybody was like speculating, saying, oh, this is not going to be the best way to transfer Pokemons, because you're going to have to use real in-game money or in-game coins, which actually equals to in-game money. Yes. In that regard, so even though you can actually get coins for free, but it depends on that. So everybody was speculating it was going to take a lot of coins and things like that. A day or so later, the same website updated and say, again with a rough translation, that it said that you can transfer Pokemons normally, like for free. However, there will be a cooldown time to transfer more Pokemons, and you can speed up that time when by using the Pokecoins in the game. So that makes it sound a little more easier, because you can transfer the Pokemons. You just have to wait for the cooldown to transfer more, which is okay. However, the question still remains. First of all, how many Pokemons can you transfer before a cooldown happens? Secondly, how many Pokecoins will you need to reduce the cooldown? And then third, is it going to cost more to transfer regular Pokemon, shiny Pokemons, event Pokemons, mythical Pokemons, and all those things, you know? So People are kind of speculating that this is actually just a money grab from the Pokemon Company and Pokemon Go in itself, because we know that Pokemon Go doesn't have a best history when it comes to monetization in their own Pokemon game. However, I do think it's a good idea, because at the end of the day, you'll be able to transfer everything and use Go. Now, the transfer between Go to Home will be permanent. So if you transfer it to Home, you can't transfer it back to Go. So don't use that as a storage unit. Please don't use it as a storage unit.
The first thing I thought when I heard about the Home transferability, I was like, oh, thank goodness. I can put most of my Pokemon in there and then catch a bunch on a calm day and then transfer them all back in. Yeah, that's definitely not happening.
No, that's not
happening. But yeah, I like that it's kind of like a Pokemon bank, but you can't withdraw. I still think it's fabulous, though.
Oh yeah, it's an amazing feature, and I love it, especially for people who want to finish up like the full decks, like the whole national decks in Home, to get their a special Pokemon. I think it's like the color different Magearna or something like that. So at the same time, people
the Pokeball Magearna?
Yeah, the Pokemon Magearna, which you can only get if you complete the entire national decks. Some people already have it if they transfer every single one of the Pokemons from all the main series games. However, this is my take on this when it comes down to it. When it comes to like older people who play the game since the beginning, yeah, they can transfer the Pokemon. They don't even have to worry about Pokemon Go. However, Niantic is losing the Pokemons that you already caught in the game into a feature that is going to go. I mean, it's technically, for the players not losing it because you transfer it to another game, but for the company itself, they're losing their own Pokemons. So I kind of understand the cooldown system. I'm glad it's only the cooldown when it comes to the Pokecoin system. However, Niantic will have to figure out another way. Plus, they have to go with whatever the Pokemon company says, because definitely they're using their game to promote different things. So, don't die on me, Chris.
Sorry.
It's alright. So I think that's a good feature when it comes down to it. I still don't like that, money has to get involved when it comes down to it, because you already pay for the game, you pay for the home feature for more storages, and you pay for many different things in the game and Pokemon Go itself. So we'll see how it goes. We still don't have all the information when it comes down to Go to Home. So we'll definitely keep you guys updated on that, because we're definitely going to show you guys how it's going to work and what definitely is the things that we want of the feature. So Chris, any more about it?
I gotta say, I am gonna wait to carry my pitchfork until I see the timer that it has involved and the for cooldown and the amount that we're able to transfer. Because in the main series games, even when you transfer Pokemon to another gen, you can usually only transfer 6 Pokemon. I wouldn't be that surprised if it was 6 again, to be honest.
The question is really the cooldown in that regard, because the cooldown is what makes all the difference. If it's 1 Pokemon or 6 Pokemon, just like you mentioned, every day, then you really have to make your pick for a while how exactly you're going to transfer Pokemon.
Very carefully.
So it is what it is, but it's going to take some time in all regards on the whole concept. So we'll keep you guys updated. Make sure you follow us on social media. We'll definitely have all the information. However, the APK mines, little by little, they're actually been showing a little bit of what's going on. The warning signal saying you can only transfer this and do that. So it's coming, guys. Just we hopefully happen either this month or next month, but we just know it's coming this year. All right. So that's Pokemon Go to Home. And then what else we have for today's research topics, Chris?
Ooh, I'm excited. We are. Ooh, dude. I'm really excited. A lot of people are not as excited because it's round 2, but Charmander is coming back in October for its second community day, this time with Dragon Breath. So,
heck yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I definitely want to get a good Charmander for both all the leagues. I don't really have a good one. I have a shiny one that I power up for Ultra League, but I just don't have a really good one for a lot of different other leagues, especially because I need the Honda for Masters. But Dragon Breath Charmander Community Day has been fully announced, and we're definitely going to give you all the details. So Saturday, October 17, from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m., so another 6-hour event. Charmander will be appearing more frequently in the wild. If you're lucky, you'll encounter a shiny one, since we already know it's been shiny for the last 2 years. Evolve Charmeleon to Charmander, or Charmeleon to Charmander. Okay, that's what I was reading. Evolve Charmeleon during the event, up to 2 hours afterwards, to get Charizard that knows the move Dragon Breath, which is actually going to be a very powerful, quick move for the Pokemon itself. Especially because it has a Mega Evolution. And definitely take some few snapshots for a surprise. I'm pretty sure it's always the snapshot for Charmander. Or Shiny Charmander if you play enough. There will be, of course, the special one-time October Community Day that's going to show around Elite Charge TM, 3 Super Incubators, and 3 Star Pieces, and 30 Ultra Balls. I'm definitely going to buy this one. Because if I get a good one, I'm going to just get Blastburn on it eventually.
Yeah.
So that's going to be nice. I do have one Charge TM, so Elite Charge TM, so that's going to be nice. Complete event, exclusive time research and field research test to earn Charizard Mega Candy. And then for the $1, the special research, a Tale of Tales. Okay, that's a play word there. Try saying that 10 times in a row. Tales. Reward for this story will include Charizard Mega Energy Candy. So that's actually nice. It gives a little extra candy for it. A very evolved.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. They'll definitely let us know when it happens for the special research, and then the bonuses will be 3 times catch Stardust.
Oh, dude, I know so many people have asked, which are you going to be going for, Stardust or the Shundo? And which one are you going to be going for? I'm going for Stardust, but if I catch a Shundo, thank goodness. But yeah. I mean, I have plenty of 98s and everything. I don't need a Hundo that badly, but trust me, it's welcome. But I need this dust so bad, man.
Well, be ready on October 17th, because that's going to be the day. Saturday, too. So luckily, I actually have a day off from work, so that works out for me. And then, of course, insects activated during the event will last 3 hours. So 3 hours... And it really depends on how you look at it, because we still have a lot of news to talk about on that. So yeah, Charmander Community Day, once again, round 2. Oh, definitely going to clarify on this. Once the post of the Community Day happened, there was a clarification with all the other social media accounts like Blow Up and everything about how it's going to work with Blastburn. So we've been talking about this for a while. I'm definitely wondering if you can get both Community Days on Community Day account. So Niantic has confirmed that Blastburn will not be part of this year's Community Day event, or even the Community Weekend that we're probably going to have in December. However, Blastburn will return in 2021 in different events that we're going to be talking about when they announce it, of course. But 2021 is when we'll see Blastburn return to Charmander for that regard. So we kind of finally have the clarification. You won't be able to evolve Charmander or Charmeleon into Charizard for it. You'll only be able to get Dragon Breath this time around. And it will only be unlocked Blastburn through the Elite Charge TM. So that's the clarification when it comes down to it. We were wondering for a while, so we know for a fact that that's going to be the case. So only Dragon Breath for this year, guys. Make sure you buy that box. But yeah, that's the confirmation for that. Now, a little more news that we got is that I know that a lot of things have been changing. However, now starting this Monday, we will have limited free raid passes starting every Monday from October 5th all the way to November 30th, which will be a full month of at least one remote raid pass for everybody to use. Each pass will be able only a week, so be sure to check in game to claim that week's remote raid pass before it's gone. As a reminder, you have to have less than 3 remote raid passes to be able to claim it. And then, of course, you'll be able to join and battle with other ones with the remote raid passes. So it is kind of nice, because it's kind of like our free remote or free raid pass in every day. It's just that it has to become by Niantic, from Niantic. So What do you think about this? Do you think it's a good idea?
Yeah, I don't think it's giving people too much, and I know that sounds kind of weird, but I think everybody's definitely going to appreciate it, especially the rural players that can't really get big groups like we can. So, yeah, it's definitely welcome. Yeah, I mean, as long as they're not doing like one every day, like I'm thinking about it, one a week. That seems very justified, because I know a lot of people have been complaining that you can't use the same passes for remote passes.
Yeah.
But it makes sense, They don't want you being able to raid from your home constantly,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good morale boost. I will say that.
Yeah, I agree. It's a good welcoming change. I hope that they it's not just this month. I hope that they will add it for different months until the end of the year. But that's just wishful thinking, of course, and Christmas land and all that. So we'll see when that happens. But every Monday, starting next week, or starting tomorrow, actually, we'll definitely get one free remote raid passes. I know a lot of people in our community has been asking for it because they don't want to spend as much money, and the people who can spend money, it's really welcoming when it comes down to it. So
Yes,
it is nice in that regard. So, Chris, what about our next announcement here?
Oh, baby. Oh, yeah. Can you light some candles for Niantic? Because today, was it? Yeah, it was today, right? Yeah, it is Niantic's 5th birthday.
Yes.
And we actually had a little special event for it, which kind of surprised me a little bit. Don't get me wrong. Happy birthday, Niantic. I just felt like the event was a little bit
underwhelming.
Not underwhelming. They didn't announce it too much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it wasn't that big, so I guess they didn't need a big announcement.
That's true. I mean, this is the first time they do a small little collaboration with the company's main core company for the game specifically. So it was kind of unexpected when it comes down to it. But this is the exclusivity. Now, unfortunately, as you're listening to this event has already ended. This was an only 6-hour event. So on October 4th, which is today, from 11 to 5, a 6-hour event, we had a special celebration for Niantic's 5th year anniversary, or birthday, I guess, because they were funded for the 5 years already. We had a special birthday event time research that will only happen during the event, giving you an incense, an egg incubator, a lucky egg, a fast TM, a charge TM, and a star piece. There was funny a little bit more in there, but I think that was all they got. And then the Team Go Rocket balloons will be appearing more frequently for the 6 hours. So I think I only got like 2 or 3 of the balloons. I can't remember. I wasn't really checking the game that time.
I didn't know they were appearing more often, so I didn't really keep track, to be honest.
So this is one of those events that just happened to like slip by through the week and then just like started and then just end. So unfortunately, that's really how it happened. So the time research was kind of nice. I mean, catch a couple Pokemon, spin a couple stops, kind of the thing. I got stuck on the last one, unfortunately, because they told me to do a raid, a gym battle, and a Tingo Rocket balloon, or a Tingo Rocket. So I was home. It was the last 30 minutes of the event. I was like, I am not gonna rush this at this point. So unfortunately, that's what it costs. The bonuses, of course, were the lucky egg duration start lasting twice as long. Start piece twice as long, catch 2 times catch experience, hatches, and half distance on eggs when placing incubators throughout the event. That was also given as a 1 Pokecoin event box featuring 30 Ultra Balls in the shop during that day. So yeah, that was just mostly about celebration when it comes down to it. It was an okay thing. There wasn't like new spawns or anything like that for it. So it really wasn't showing anything. It was just, it was Niantic's birthday. Here's how we celebrate, in-game at least, So, that's really what it was. Now, you may be wondering why they would give us the bonuses of 2 times Lucky Egg and Stardust and all that stuff. There's definitely some things that we gotta talk about here, and there's a reason why. But let's get through the events because there's still a little bit more news here, guys, before we get into the more damaging one of things. Oh God, this is gonna be a lot. This is gonna be interesting. But Chris, what is our last little piece of news? Well, second to last piece of news, I guess.
Well, we have a little event going on right now, and it's going to be turning into another one soon on October 9th for autumn-themed Pokemon. I know a lot of people love their little boy Deerling, and I think it's a cutie too.
All right. I'm going to stop it right there because we got to get them all the information. So starting on Friday, October 9th at 8 a.m. to Monday, October 12th at 1 p.m. So it looks like to be only a weekend-long event. Unless I'm going crazy off the dates, but it looks like a weekend-long event. Yeah, it's only a weekend-long event.
3 days.
Yeah, 3 days. So this is what's gonna happen. So as the world round changes, the season changes too. As the seasons turn, different Pokemon will be appearing in the wild and hatching from eggs. Certain berries effects will be boosted. Berry team field research and type research will be available. And Deerling will make his Pokemon Go debut this coming weekend. All right. So what are the features of this event? Since we already talked about the dates, whenever it's autumn or spring, whenever it's plant and flourishing around the world, the berries will, of course, be twice as effective when you give them to your body, and it will earn twice as candy when you use it normally to a Pokemon. So basically, double cash candy, technically, if you think about it, when you use a pineapple berry or a simple pineapple berry in that regard. It'll also be more effective when you give it to your body. So maybe instead of 2 hearts, it gives you 3. So it's like a golden rubber in that regard.
I actually find that interesting. They didn't necessarily specify silver pineapple, but I do think you can make the assumption of that. Yeah. I am going to test that right away though, just in case, and I'll put it in the server.
Yeah, definitely. Berries will also be dropping more often from the spin of Pokestops Pokestops and Pokegyms. And be sure to harvest a few berries. Now, I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. I usually just trash berries as I go along because there's just too much inventory in my space and not too much inventory in my bag. So it's kind of okay, but I kind of wish they would just give me more Pokeballs at this point.
It'd be interesting if they had a lot of quests for the rarer berries, like silver pineapples and golden razzes. At the same time, I know I'm still trashing golden razzes. I'm sure you are too.
I'm using it more on a lot of catches, legendaries, and my body at this point because I just have so much.
Same.
I have so much. At one point, I actually trashed all my regular berries because golden raspberries was like top notch at this point. I haven't gone under 250 at this point, so.
It's a lot.
Yes. All right. So Pokemon that can sense when the weather changed, you can expect the following Pokemon appearing more often in the wild: Oddish, Vulpix, Bayleaf, Hoot, Sudowoodo, Yama, Binacle, Zigzagoon, Seedot, Smush, Plant Cloak Burmy, and Fungus. Holy Jesus, that's a lot of list. But yeah, those are the Pokemon. Now, if you're extremely lucky, well, not really extremely, it's just say lucky, you might encounter a shiny Vulpix. Finally, Vulpix is coming as a shiny. Everybody is going crazy about it. Right?
Cantonian Vulpix, man, that's the OP bit.
Well, we had Alolan Vulpix for the longest time, since like 2 years ago, and now we finally get Vulpix after 2 years. So it's like...
It's gorgeous.
It took a while for them to appear, though. That's jeez. I mean, it was in the community day poll a couple of months back, but nobody wanted Vulpix because everybody wanted a brand new Pokemon and shiny and all that stuff with the moveset that everybody was going to use and everything. So unfortunately, Vulpix got down, but it's coming back. At least they were able to release it now, and we don't have to worry about just not seeing a regular Vulpix in the wild feed research because I get a lot of them from them, so that's kind of interesting. So it's kind of nice. I know a lot of people are really happy about it, and it's kind of nice. All right, so then autumn team Pokemons will be hatching from 5-kilometer eggs, and then of course, as we mentioned, Deerling, the season Pokemon, will be making its Pokemon Go debut. Turning off the season changes the color and sense of this Pokemon's fur. Keep an eye for an autumn form Deerling. So this will be the first release of this. It's probably going to be changing every one of the seasons. Once the shiny is released, it's going to be interesting too. But we'll have autumn, we'll have winter, we'll have summer, and we'll have spring. So all those 4 types of months or seasons, that's where Deerling is going to change this for that reason. So expect to have 4 different types, and hopefully the shiny doesn't get released that easily. So
that's going to be a horrible one to hunt for. I mean, Burmese already bad.
Oh god, and we have boosted Burmese right now, and it's just like, oh my goodness, I can't get a shiny.
Yeah, same. I've not gotten the shiny, and you know what's going to happen is you're going to get 2 males.
I know, right?
Before you...
Yeah, god dang it. In some part of the world, the leaves are turning red and shadow are growing longer. With the transition from a hot summer to a cooler autumn in some places, it looks like there will be a few different Pokemon hatching from eggs soon. Look forward to that and other exciting changes from Monday, October 12th to Monday, October 19th local time. So it looks like there's going to be an egg change pool coming around pretty soon, because it starts on the 12th, and that's when the event of the autumn event ends. So the eggs are going to be changing too, so that's pretty nice. We'll see. I do hope.
Do you have any speculation on it?
I just want different Pokemon and eggs. I'm tired of actually getting a 2K egg and getting a Love Disc.
I know a lot of people are fed up with sock and throw in 10Ks.
Yeah, I hope that they do change that too.
Yeah.
We'll see when it comes around, but I do want a lot of Pokemon to change. I hope that the 7K eggs also get a little bit of boost up, because I don't really like hatching them either.
Yeah, they're kind of underwhelming right now.
Yeah, everything.
I mean, you got Smoochum now, but
nah. Okay.
I mean, with the bow that you can't evolve.
Yeah, you know what? I had a 7K egg and I hatched it this morning, and it was a Shinx with a hat.
Really? Okay. I mean, that would be more exciting.
Yeah, but
for
it wasn't shiny.
Yeah.
Not that I need the shiny right now, but you know. Because I have so many of that shiny in that regard, so...
Never enough.
I know, right? Well, everybody's going crazy for that shiny. They all want that shiny for sure.
Oh, I think it's cool, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So, as a teacher chain, it's good to remember to enjoy the simple things in life, all the things that Pokemon Go just says to go out and play. That's what it comes around to it. So that's the Autumn Team event with some changes coming around in the next few days. We'll definitely have more news coming around soon too, so we'll check it out when that happens. Alright, Chris, I've been dreading to talk about this for a while.
You gotta rip off that Band-Aid.
I know, but it's just one of those things that I'm just like, Alright, let me just finish up catching this Mareep and let's get around to it. So, as you guys probably have noticed by this point, and how everybody has been going crazy on Twitter, the special bonuses that we had since the pandemic has started has finally been changed. Now, not fully reverted. Let me clarify this. It hasn't been fully reverted, but there are definitely been some changes that Pokemon Go has made from the initial temporary bonuses. Now, we do say temporary because we knew they weren't going to stay forever, and that's my first take on this, but we'll definitely talk about this in a second. So trainers, over the past few months, we've been making temporary changes to Pokemon Go to adapt the changing global environment. Some of the changes will remain implemented for the foreseeable future, such as the ability to raid remotely, changes to Go Battle League, and the increased distance in which you can spin stops at gyms or Pokestops. We thank you for all your feedback. Now, I'm reading this word to word because I want to make sure everybody understands. We want to like every single part of this announcement, okay? So the following temporary bonuses will remain in Pokemon Go overall gameplay experiences. The maximum number of kits you can carry in your item will remain at 20, so that's good. You will continue to receive 3 times as the Stardust and experience for your first catch of the day, so that's nice. And then instance durations will remain at 60 minutes. When possible, people are generally encouraged to spend time outside, go on walks, and exercise for their mental and physical health, all while social distancing and abiding by other health and safety recommendations. But starting Thursday, October 1st, which was the first of the month, of course, the following temporary bonuses will be modified. Now, before we get to the modified part of this, let me make sure you guys understand. It is generally encouraged to spend time outside to go on walks, exercise for their mental health and physical health, while all social distancing and abiding by the health of safety recommendations. So, guys, again, Niantic is not telling you to go outside. It's telling you that it's encouraging to just go outside and play the game if you want to, do the exercise that you need, and things like that. I want to emphasize on this because the next part is going to what really went on crazy and how people are just being going crazy about this announcement. Hash distance will be returned to normal for X. Kind of a blow. It's understandable though, but it's kind of nice that, we finally got back to that kind of thing. So all the incubators and super incubators will go back to their regular timings, and the hash distance, unfortunately, is going away. So normal eggs now. The increased effectiveness of incense will now apply only by walking. I know what you're gonna say, and we'll stop. We'll definitely talk about that bullet point in just a second. The buddy Pokemon will now bring you gifts only when you're nearly run out. This will only happen once per day. So instead of giving you the gifts every single maybe hour, if you start moving through gifts pretty quickly, it will only happen one time in the day, and it will only give you whatever many you need at the time. I guess that's what it meant. I guess you will still have a higher chance of getting a gift from a Pokestop. However, you won't be guaranteed to get a gift. So it's changing that before, no matter where you spin the stop, you will get a gift. But now it's saying that you can still get a higher chance of getting one, but it's not a guarantee. So it's not a full 100% guarantee of those. Before we talk about those bullet points, we'll just want to say incubators will be including more in boxes and in-game shop. For a summary of the active bonuses, keep an eye on the special bonuses section of the debut. We will continue to monitor these activity bonuses and will provide updates as necessary. Additionally, we continue to monitor the ever-evolving global situation and working hard to reschedule previously planned live events to 2021. Health and safety are our utmost importance. Please stay tuned for our official channels and for any rescheduling updates. All right, let's talk about what has transpired after the announcement went live. So the very first thing that I'm going to point out is the effectiveness on incense. And this is the one that everybody has literally made the entire community say, what the heck? And I'm sure, Chris, you got very much to talk about this one too.
Perhaps.
So, in all this regards, it's kind of a little bit of a blow because a lot of people on the internet, they're saying they cannot still go out, they can't play the game outside. There's either a lockdown, they're waiting for the second wave to happen. Some people are saying that it's already here. Everything that happened to the pandemic is still happening in the world. Yes, the pandemic is still happening. That we can acknowledge for everybody to understand. We know that, it's not getting any better anytime soon. But in all regards, the world has adjusted to a new normal, which is social distancing, being able to go outside and exercise with the social distancing into effect, and abiding to any health and safety recommendations from the world itself. So people have accustomed to it. There, of course, there are a small group, I want to say maybe small or large, I don't know, it really depends on how you look at it, that's, they're still doing things the way they done it before the pandemic because they don't believe in pandemic. But that's another story. However, Pokemon Go is just changing this to start returning to a new normal to where the game allows you to go out and play. It's not incentivizing, well, it kind of is, but it's also not incentivizing saying you gotta play the game outside. It is your choice as a trainer, as a player, as a human being to make that type of decision. Not the games and not the companies. Now, we understand we are very, very addicted to this game. Addiction is a bad thing, and unfortunately we can't really change that because this game is just too good to put down. But at the same time, somebody like me, I will make the decision. If I wanted to go out and play, I will do it safely. Either by car play, by social distancing, wearing a mask, and making sure that, I wash my hands and do whatever else is to do for the health and safety of my family, my friends, and the people around me. So, in that sense, I can agree to these changes. Because, as I said before, I want to go back to that sense of playing the game as a community. If we can't play this game as a community, well, what's the point? Why do we sit at home and just raid all day? Or sit at home and spin the stuff that we have so close to us? There's just no point of going out at this point then. That's the core value of the game, to go out and play. I see it as a core value to finally see the community after 7 or so months, but doing it safely the way that we always been doing it since the beginning of the pandemic. So Chris, now I got hang off the flag to you and see what else you got to say to me.
I can see both sides of the coin because I've heard it from a few people, but I have my own views on it.
Right.
I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing because you got to rip off the Bandit eventually. We know they don't want to keep these in place, the added benefits and everything. It's losing them money in the long run, for one thing, and also it doesn't really fit with the game, Pokemon Go. You know, what they could have done was just leave it the same if they really wanted to, but then the game wouldn't even be playable, like at all. So the fact that they gave us the ability to do any of it for that long was already fabulous. They're just testing the waters, I feel like, and seeing if the game is still playable by a multitude of people with these, seeing if people know how to interact locally based on their regulations. We'll see. For sure, I doubt there's going to be as many lawsuits as in the beginning of Pokemon Go.
Well,
we'll see.
Yeah, so talking about legal stuff and all that.
Yes.
Niantic understands after a long period of how this game works and how the world is at the moment that not everything can still be done outside at the moment. Now,
yes,
this game it can be played outside and can still be played outside because there is a regulation to actually continue for your own health to go outside and do something. Do something that will benefit you the most instead of staying inside, cooped up in your house all day long. But at the same time, they even acknowledge them in this point that they're always monitoring what's happening in the world, and they will definitely keep and changing if the world goes into a more worse situation than it was before. Now, I do want to emphasize one thing, and this is out of the realm of Pokemon Go. The pandemic, guys, in all honesty, I feel like the whole virus thing, not just the pandemic, but the virus, is here to stay, guys. It's not going to go away anytime soon. It's probably never going to go away. We don't know that yet. We don't know how long this virus is going to be around. We don't know if because whatever vaccine or whatever they decide to put into place to fight it will actually take effect and just disappear. This virus is not going to go away. It's going to be just like a regular flu season at this point. It's going to be something that's going to affect everybody. So the world is changing. We got to change with it. That's what I feel that these changes don't seem as bad. It's been great for the last 7 months. It's been an amazing bonuses that Pokemon Go had to implement on the fly because of how the game works at this, or how the game functions and how the world is. But I knew from the beginning that this is going to more hurt the player than anything else when playing the game. And I just hope that little by little people can understand that Niantic is only doing what's best for everybody, making sure that even with everything that's going on, that everybody's in safe position. They haven't announced any real events yet. They haven't announced any real in-game, or not in-game, but outside events to go out and play and group together or anything like that, because they know that, unfortunately, the world is still not at its place for that. But we want to return to those places. For me personally, and for a lot of people, they want to go back to the community, the players, the people they have met over the years, the friends and, long-time partners out there that they're sure that they want to meet and see and everything. But it's not gonna happen unless we start somewhere. And this is the start. It's not about the money, and it's definitely not about the pandemic. It's about making sure that the game can function regularly for the players and for the community. And that's really my take on it. I hope that, whoever is listening to this can understand that this is just the beginning of something more for the future, both of this game and for ourselves. Mm-hmm. All right, I went off the run later again. Trust me, this announcement has gone and literally made Twitter over his head. A lot of people are literally saying it's not. Even the YouTubers, Reversal, Zoe 2 Dots, even Mystic 7, and all those ones that usually are up and most about this game. They say that this game, this is an announcement that really is a blow right now for a lot of people. I do think, and yes, I will always understand that there's still, a pandemic, and there's still safety that we gotta follow. But we're not gonna just leave the game as it is just because of this whole thing. I just think of it that way, And it could go on for another hour if I wanted to about this, but we already went too long on it. All right, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it for today. Unfortunately, I don't think that we have much to talk about afterwards. I know I don't want to end it on a bad note, but we have a lot of exciting news and announcements to go around. I don't know if we want to get into Get Good or Get Wrecked this time around, though.
Oh, no. Everyone's already good, man.
Yeah.
Everyone already got good.
Yeah.
For this week.
Yeah, they're getting wrecked, though. They're getting wrecked.
Yeah, by me.
Alright, so thank you very much, everybody, for watching and, of course, listening to us. You can follow us on the social media for any changes for the weeks, anything that happens in Pokemon Go. Usually we'll tweet it out. You can find me, of course, at Pure Letter Go, and then of course Chris at Christo0517. Please keep on tweeting, Chris, because you never tweet.
I love tweeting so much; it's fabulous.
And then of course you can follow us on our podcast feeds: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Spotify, Amazon Music, and more. So keep on the lookout. If you can leave us a 5-star review, that'd be great. I mean, if 5-star is your thing, but But yes, definitely that. Make sure you email us at thepurifiedpodcast@gmail.com for any information. No voicemails or text message just yet because I don't have anything set up yet for that. And of course, don't forget to check us out at thepurifiedpodcast.com. Chris, how about you take us away for the night?
Alrighty. I hope you guys aren't too down about the bonuses getting taken away. Bonuses. Anyways,
temporary.
I hope you guys, I hope you guys get your shinies that you want. There's a lot of different shinies to look for. Even if you guys aren't looking for the costume shinies, there's still a lot of really rare ones. Burmy. That's about it. Burmy. Hope you guys have a good one. I'm definitely looking forward to what's to come. Origin Giratina. A lot of the spotlight hours are looking pretty interesting. There's a lot of speculations we're going to make next week for sure. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. Just get out there and get your Pokemon. Have a good one, guys.
Keep grinding, trainers. We'll see you guys next week.